Bank, your local carrier dealers, Lakeland University, Z-Mart, Cannon and Dunphy, Loyal Family Renovations, Tsunami Express Car Wash, Steamfitters Local 601, Big Fish Contracting, SVA, a professional services company, WeatherTight, Window Nation, and Network Health on the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
For over 40 years, the Boucher Automotive Group is proud to have served Wisconsin with dedication and heart, one customer at a time. But we knew we could do even more.
In the last 5 years, we've expanded across the state, adding new locations, new brands, and new ways to better serve you.
At Boucher, growth isn't always about being bigger. It's about being better. Better selection, better service, better experiences.
Where you're going matters, and Boucher is driven to get you there. The Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
Nursing students often endure long wait lists, but Concordia University, Wisconsin ensures entry into their nursing program upon acceptance. Broad exposure prepares CUW students for diverse nursing specialties with hands-on clinical experience in hospitals and other healthcare settings, leading to high job placement rates for graduates. CUW provides a faith-based education with a focus on holistic care. Graduates are prepared to address patients' physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. Your journey awaits at cuw.edu/bucks.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings good up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Get up! Get out of here and go! Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from American Family Field, here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
All right, good to be back and good to see some deja vu. No problem. 9-2. The final score once again here against the Angels. Brewers had a big 5-run inning. They coasted from there. We got plenty to talk about with Craig Kashan. We'll have him on in this segment once we get you through the highlight recap.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Run it back! Ho, ho, ho!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Brandon Woodruff, after a little longer rest than usual, getting the start for the Brewers against Jose Soriano for the Angels. Well, he'll be worse for wear by the end of this one. But for Woodruff, he started out strong. He got a pair of strikeouts in a scoreless first, but ran into a little bit of traffic in the second. A catcher's interference on an 0-2 pitch to Joe Adell, but then he struck out Christian Moore. Allowed a single up the middle by Oswald Peraza, no big deal. He would eventually steal second base as well. So now there are men on second and third. Strikeout of Guzman, and Rivero was the last batter.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Went back to the cutter, and he strikes out Rivero, and the Angels will strand a pair in the top of the second.
Those two at-bats with the runner in scoring position, plot twist, spoiler alert, they would be their only ones the entire night. And all good rallies begin with a leadoff walk. You've heard me say it before. That's how the Brewers started the second inning. A walk to William Contreras, a bunt single, a perfect one by Bryce Terang. Durbin would pop out, but then Jake Bauers would hit a rocket, 107 miles an hour, off of Jose Soriano's right forearm. He would immediately exit the game. It loaded the bases, and into the bullpen, Connor Brogdon with the impossible task of warming up on the game mound and inheriting them loaded with only one out.
Brogdon kicks, delivers, and a ground ball left side. That's going to get into left field for a base hit. Contreras will score. Streaking around third is Terang. He will score. 2-0 Brewers here in the second.
Then with 2 outs, the top of the order comes up. Sal Frelick works a count from 3-0 to 3-2. And on the 9th pitch.
3-2 pitch. There go the runners. This is driven out to right. It's hit well. Adele is back at the track. Bye-bye baseball! The summer of Sal, maybe the fall of Frelick. A 3-run home run, and the Brewers with a 5 spot in the second.
All of a sudden, a blink, and the Brewers' offense is in control of this one. Now, Taylor Ward had himself a day offensively for the Angels. He would have 2 solo homers in this contest. Brandon Woodruff, though, only allowed 1 run on that homer. He would go 5 innings, 9 strikeouts, and the best part, 0 walks. The Brewers would add back on in the 6th inning after a 1-out double by Contreras, a walk by Terang, and, the Angels are one of the worst defensive teams in the American League, and you can see why.
0-1 on Durbin. Here's the pitch. And a tapper out in front of home plate. Urania fields it, throws to first, throws it away. It ends up in foul territory. Contreras will trot home. Terang's going to be held at third, and on his way to second goes Durbin.
That would be all the Brewers would get in the 6th inning, unfortunately, so they still hold on to a 6-2 lead. You're never against more insurance. Even with Abner Uribe warming in the Brewers' pen, they would walk the bases loaded. And with 2 outs, there's Perkins again.
Urania brings home the first pitch, and Perkins lifts one down the right field line. That's going to get down and roll into the corner. It's a fair ball. Yelich is in. Terang is in. Rounding third, headed for home is Durbin. He will score all the way into third. With a 3-run triple is Blake Perkins. He's driven in 5 tonight.
Matched his career high. What a night for Perk. Happy for him. The Brewers make it 9-2. And that would be the final score. The Brewers take the series from the Angels, and they'll go for the sweep tomorrow evening. Magic number. It falls down by 1. It goes down to 6 for the Crew. Doesn't matter what the Cubs do. If the Brewers win 6 of the final 10, they are division champions. All right, we welcome in Craig Kashan now. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Craig, I want to get to you here now because, with everything about the Cubs sweeping the Pirates, and you can sense this sort of, oh my goodness, here they come. Brewers taking care of business against a team that they're supposed to take care of business against in the LA Angels.
Yeah, and I mean, you could say the same thing about what the Cubs have done with that sweep over the Pirates. I think the Pirates are kind of playing like the Angels right now, too, if you saw anything over the last 3 games against Chicago. But that's what it is. You play the schedule out, and hopefully the Brewers can complete this sweep tomorrow because they should. I mean, they're clearly the better team, and they're playing well here over a decent stretch. And my goodness, Dom, it's stunning. Just in this series alone, we're going to see a potential sweep with Quinn Priester out there tomorrow. So you had Peralta, Woody, and Priester in this series, and these are the guys that are going to take that ball to start the first 3 games, when playoff time comes. And look what the first 2 guys have already done, and look what Priester's done since May. So this to me kind of reinvigorates the enthusiasm after kind of a little lull stretch the team went through that we're, I think, now really starting to see this all set up nicely.
Yeah, and then we'll talk more specifically about Brandon Woodruff coming up in the next segment, but just kind of in grand fashion that the Brewers, still continuing to play great baseball. They're 34 games above 500 once again. And in Pat Murphy's post-game press conference today that listeners will hear later on here in the program, he just kind of openly wondered, what's the Brewers' record since Brandon Woodruff returned, since his activation from the injured list? You may recall that was down in Miami on July the 5th. Well, since July the 5th, the Brewers, no surprise, best record in baseball. That helps have a 14-game winning streak in there. But they're 44-19 since Brandon Woodruff's return, and I don't think that's a coincidence.
No, it's not. And you saw it, too, in that very first game in Miami that he started for the first time in nearly 2 years. Something changed because he was out on the mound. It wasn't him changing. He was still Brandon Woodruff, but it kind of punctuated the point how important this guy is to a team. And these guys have a great surrounding cast. And it was just kind of the very beginning of, what we were going to see out of the rest of this team. But is there anybody any more even-keeled while also leading and saying the right things and not making it about himself and making it about the team than Woody is? So I think it's great. I think it's great that you brought up that point too, Dom, because he is what makes this team very, very special. I mean, there's a great story behind it. There's great numbers behind it. There's a great date behind it. And he's not done yet, neither are the Brewers.
Yeah, I think Woodruff is certainly a big part of the story tonight. So is Blake Perkins. So is Sal Frelick hitting 11 homers. That was on no one's bingo card as well. Let's hear from the fans. 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620 or over on the YouTube live chat as well. More with Craig. I'm Dom after this on 620 WTMJ.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, one of the top-ranked real estate teams in Wisconsin, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
You'll get a new heat pump system, a new furnace, and a full home duct cleaning all together as a package at about half price. Half price! That's how it all shakes out. Not a gimmick. And both the furnace and the heat pump system are high-quality units. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump system from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace and a free duct cleaning. All totaled, the cost would be about $20,000. When you add in the new tax incentives that you'll get back at the end of the year, you're going to end up paying about half. That's about $10,000 for a high-quality furnace, heat pump system, and a full home duct cleaning. It's limited time. And last time we did this, the units went pretty fast. So if your home needs a new furnace upgrade and a heat pump system that can act as a brand new AC system as well as a furnace backup, take advantage while you can and cut your energy bills substantially. Call Quality and get them while they're hot.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win again, 9-2. Yep, it's not Tuesday's show, it's Wednesday's show. Our thanks to Bob Brainerd as always. I'm Dom Cotroneo, back from assignment, and the Brewers get another victory. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. If you're looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs, look no further than Fifth Third Bank. They've got a local team right here in Milwaukee and know how to hit it out of the park every time. For 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that helps your business thrive. Experience a unique commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. With Craig Kishon, I'm Dom Cotroneo. So Woody today, 9 strikeouts, no walks, just 2 hits allowed. And let me just get out in front of it here real quick, Craig. I know it's the Angels. I'm sick of having to qualify a big league team on the other side. And I know the Angels aren't at the record that they want to be. I know they have a lot of rookies and second-year players that are still coming into their own. Mike Trout hasn't been himself for a while. The point being, if Brandon Woodruff did anything less of a performance in this, people are like, oh my goodness, it's the Angels, what are you doing? So the point being, I'm very impressed with this, and I know it was a bunch of righties today. It's not going to be a normal lineup, but the cutter, my goodness, he didn't throw this pitch before this year, Craig, and it was his best offering tonight.
It's amazing what he's been able to establish within himself. I mean, you know, this guy's command is off the charts. His, determination to use that new pitch has really shined. I mean, he needs probably that extra weapon here right now as well. And he knew that, and Chris Hook and everybody knew that too. So, credit to everybody for making that happen, because he's done a phenomenal job with it. And tonight alone, his command just top to bottom. You're right. Who cares who you're facing? You go out there and do your job, and he did that. He's given up no walks in each of his last 2 starts as well. So he's hitting a groove. And remember, before that, some starts before that, after that tremendous, welcoming back on the season for him, he kind of toyed with and pushed himself, can I go a little further? Can I go another inning? Can I increase my pitch count? And he tested the waters, and then he had to back off a little bit. So maybe having these 10 days between starts will really set him up nicely for the postseason. And it's also going to be interesting, to see if he just makes one more before it's all done, probably at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at it today. He throws today with 10 full days off. He's not going to get 10 full days off. That would mean he starts the finale of the regular season. That's not going to happen. But I could see a scenario where maybe he gets a week off, right? Where, well, even then, no, next Thursday's an off day. Never mind. So it would be a full 8 days off, 7 days off, and then he pitches on the 8th day, the opener against Cincinnati, which would then line him up to have like 11 days off if he starts Game 3 of the NLDS. So the point being is that I think this kind of showed a hand from the Brewers, him only throwing 69 pitches, him saying in his post-game comments, I still got more in the tank, I promise, but that I think the Brewers just showed their hand saying he's probably not going to start that Game 2, Game 5 gambit that we've been talking about so much. They want him fresh and ready to go for like a Game 3. Give us one start of your best stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, Dom, it just amazes me when you look at how this team maps things out for this pitching staff and for certain guys and how often it works. I mean, Brewer fans, you gotta embrace what you're seeing here right now, because all you have to do is look at how many other opponents the Brewers face, and you don't see this kind of I think determination to try to accomplish a job, and you don't see the execution like you're seeing with the Brewers and what they can do with Woody after having all that time off, what they can do with Quinn Priester when they acquired him out of nowhere. At the beginning of the year. Look what he's done since then. And what Freddie has done this year, too. I mean, this is clearly Freddie's best year. He's still Freddie Peralta, but 17-game winner and that low ERA, it's pretty phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to, how Woody finishes the regular season, and he's going to go in no matter what in that postseason start, no matter which one it is, rested and ready and well tested just based on how they operated here over the last 10, 11, 12 days.
When I look at Woody, and even today he topped out at 94, but the cutter was so good, and it would be easy to panic and freak out like, oh my gosh, his velo's not there, what is he going to do, if he wasn't showing off the other tricks that he has in the bag, right? The changeup is still super effective, even against righties. The cutter today was the story. He still has command. I mean, he only had 1 3-ball count on the night. And know what happened on that 3-ball count? It didn't come back. It was a 3-1 pitch that Taylor Ward hit over the fence. So he still has command. He's still getting ahead of hitters. And he still has the stuff that, look, I know the Angels strike out a lot, and this is something that you can't overreact to, but he still has stuff that when he's at the top of the zone, when he's on the corners, when his cutter is moving like it's supposed to, and he's getting righties fooled by backdoor sinkers, it's like, ooh, he doesn't need that 96 anymore if he has the command to go with the secondaries.
Yep, and I love how he goes about his execution, too, because in that first inning, he used that changeup a lot, got that established, and he doesn't wait till the second time through the order. He just waits to the next inning, and then he goes after that cutter right away, and he starts just going from there. So, the game plan works out for him, and he's phenomenal at what he's doing right now. And, look out, man. I just love to see this. And then the other one, too, Dom, he's the guy, if you're going to give him a 5-run second inning, what's he do to go out in the third? Makes it real quick. No runs on the board, a 1-2-3 inning. And that's just what you expect from a guy like Brandon Woodruff. He's such a winner.
I agree entirely. 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. We'll get to Brian in Tosa. Brian, welcome back to the program. You're live on Brewers Extra Innings.
Thanks, Dom. And no, don't get concerned. This is the formula that they need to advance in the running, the starting pitching, the bullpen, the big hit, the 3-run homer, advancing runners. They're all good. My only caveat is this is the Angels, and you said that. So when we get into playoff baseball, it's not going to be this easy. But if we play like we played these last 2 nights, it should be a magical run. I like everything I'm seeing. We just got to get healthy. What's the latest on McGill? I heard he had a setback. Is there any update on where he stands? But otherwise, I think it's a great run. We just got to finish strong, and let's see what happens in October. So thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, Brian. We'll talk a little McGill later on. I wouldn't call it a full setback, but the way that Pat Murphy described it today is that it's probably unlikely. He's hopeful, though, that we'd see him before the regular season ends. We'll explain more of that later before you get alarmist. But we got to talk about Blake Perkins. We got to talk about Sal Frelick, and then we'll let Craig go as well. So we'll take a quick breather, come back with more after this on 620 WTMJ.
Hey Brewers fans, did you know you can get free tickets to an upcoming Milwaukee Brewers game if you replace all the windows in your home with Window Nation? And this month, when you buy 2 windows, Window Nation will give you 2 for free. Plus, you won't make any payments for 2 years. That's right, no interest, no monthly payments, and no down payment. Get 1-day installation with Window Nation, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Balaga here from my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right. No carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Only in Wisconsin can you need the AC one day, like today, and the furnace the next, maybe next week. Be ready for whatever the weather throws your way. Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical has an early bird special that you're running out of time on. $20 off a furnace tune-up now through September 19th. That's Friday. So book your appointment today at Cider, SEIDER.com. With Craig Kashan, I'm Dom Cotroneo. So, Craig, Blake Perkins, man, he's somebody... It's just so easy to root for him. We don't play favorites in the media. Everyone knows that. But for the people that talk to him on a daily basis and have been around him as much as we have, he is just like I describe him as a saint. He is just speaks gently, plays hard baseball. He looks smooth doing it. He's always supporting his teammates and just has such insightful conversations. For him to kind of break through this funk he's had the last couple of weeks was really encouraging to see him use the whole field, right? An opposite field 2-run single, and he pulled a triple down the right field line.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game today, and so well-deserved for him. You know, I've said this to you before on certain occasions on the show. I hate feeling sorry for professional athletes because we all know that they're getting paid to do a job, and they're elite level athletes. And there are times, when Perk goes through his slumps, that you feel bad for him because he is a saint, Dom. You're absolutely right about that. And he is the best center fielder right now, I think, in the game. I mean, he's just so smooth out there. But he's been struggling at the plate. And to be able to come through in that second inning, the 2 RBI single, hey, all of a sudden, Perk gave the Brewers the lead. And, then Frelick hits his home run. But, man, that bases clearing triple, the 3 more RBIs that he delivered in the 8th inning as well. Just to see him going around the bases and all 3 of those runners ahead of him come in, the smile on his face. Again, nobody deserves it more. And Vinny and I were talking about this on our post-game show on TV. This guy is going to get starts in the postseason in center field, and he's going to get more than one at bat during the game. So you want his bat to start coming around, and hopefully this is a good sign it will for the stretch.
The thing that I'm excited about with Blake Perkins, and maybe this is something to monitor for these final 10 games, we know how much this team values defense, right? And that's why Joey Ortiz is going to start at shortstop. And now it's throwing Blake Perkins as a reminder, like, he's going to start in center field for the Brewers perhaps in a playoff game, which takes Isaac Collins' bat out of the order. So the point being is if Blake is doing something with the bat, I'm not asking him to have 5 RBIs every night, but him batting 8th, continuing the order, him and Joey Ortiz are going to be the at-bats to monitor come the postseason because Blake very quietly had a good wild card series last year. I think we all forget that. We all remember Garrett Mitchell hitting the home run, obviously, in Game 2. But Blake was on base a bunch, and if he's just on base in the bottom half of the order, being a little spark plug, while playing Gold Glove quality center field, that's a guy that a run saved is essentially a run scored.
Yeah, and you're right, Dom. There's always a guy in that batting order that is going to surprise you come postseason. It happens generally for every team, and Blake Perkins would certainly be a top candidate for that because he's certainly got it in him. No, he's not going to have a 5 RBI game every time he goes out, but the guy's capable of coming through in clutch situations. And, when you're playing and fielding your position well in center field like he does, I mean, he's going to have that all that energy, all that juice. He's going to be ready to bring it, and it would be great to see him do something like this in the postseason and have it be, decisive at bats. That would be great for him.
That would be huge. And, oh, by the way, Sal Frelick at the top of the order. We talked about it all last weekend, and this week the Brewers have put him at the top of the order, and it's been really paying off for the crew. He hits a 3-run homer today. I mean, if I told you at the beginning of the year that one of these 3 things was going to happen, but actually all 3 things are going to happen, right? Sal Frelick would hit double-digit homers, Bryce Terang would flirt with a 2020 season, and Christian Yelich is 1 homer away from a 30 and 100 season. You'd be surprised if one of those things happened, but the fact that all 3 are going to happen, holy cow, what an offense.
Yeah, what an offense. And, Dom, those 3 guys are a huge reason why this team has, 93 wins on the season. I mean, it really is because they've had great seasons. I know you can throw Jackson Chourio in there as well with the numbers right now, but, I mean, the 3 guys that you're talking about have had great seasons. It hasn't, they have come in 3 and 4 months of success. It is a long year. We're almost done with 6 months of a playing season, but these guys have had 3 and 4 great months that they've been able to put together, if not more. And when you get that kind of contribution, and then you get the complementary production, from guys like Durbin, tonight Perkins, we all know what William Contreras can do. So that's great stuff from those 3 guys, no doubt.
Amen to all that. Text from Nick. What a win. 18 runs to 4 over the Angels in the first 2 games. Frelick and Perkins, all we needed. Special ball club, special season. It's the best season I've ever seen. Appreciate that text, Nick. I agree entirely. Well, Craig, we'll talk to you again for a getaway day tomorrow. Night game show, oddity for us. And, let's make it a sweep, huh?
I'm with you on that one, Dom. It's a rare night game on getaway, you're right, but let's go out right.
At least it's an easy trip down to St. Louis. Craig Kishon here on WTMJ. Thanks, Gregor.
You got it, Dom.
All right, back with more after this. More text, 855-616-1620, here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
This is Libby Collins. Join us Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock for conversations with the most interesting people in southeastern Wisconsin.
My dad loved Willie Nelson. And people are like, you can't say you like Willie Nelson because he dodged his taxes. Well, he did.
We started seeing him pitting the women against each other, trying to get women to be jealous of each other for being close to him.
How can I become a professional wrestler? You really can't.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ.
Hey, Milwaukee, looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs? Look no further than Fifth Third Bank. With a local team right here in Milwaukee, they know how to hit it out of the park every time. For 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that all helps your business thrive. Experience a unique commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
You know, James, we'll be running this place together for a while. And one day, hopefully, you and your kids will be doing the same.
That's the plan, Dad. And we're making changes so we stay ahead of the game.
Like the new Marty's Pizza Delafield.com?
We've made it extremely easy for both our young and older customers to make fast online orders.
It is really convenient, but if you like to call your orders in, a friendly Marty's Pizza employee will be there to answer with a smile.
Remember Marty's Pizza, right off of I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
And at marty'spizzadelafield.com.
Dad, it's been almost 7 decades, and I think we just keep getting better.
And we've been in Delafield since 1982. We've been very fortunate.
At Marty's Pizza, we do our best to keep prices at a value.
And we stay true to our roots with the tastiest thin pepperoni we can find. 100% of real mozzarella cheese, our very own exclusive sausage, and an almost 70-year-old sauce recipe, both which Marty himself taught us how to make.
Dad, we got to keep on trucking.
We will, son. We will.
Catch the final battle of the regular season. The Brewers host the Reds Friday, September 26th through Sunday, September 28th. Get in on Fan Appreciation Night and a tumbler giveaway on Saturday the 27th. Close out the regular season with the crew. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Brewers win 9-2. A couple of texts that have rolled in here. Going for the sweep tomorrow. Almost a perfect game, but Taylor Ward had other plans. Go Brew Crew. Out one from the 815. Alex from Oshkosh. Brewers once again beat the Angels 9-2. Magic number to clinch is 6 and a chance to get the series sweep on college night. Yeah, how about it? If you're Marquette or Wisconsin or UW Milwaukee, wherever you may be, hope you come on down here and enjoy a Thursday night at the ballpark. Danny on the east side, only 7 teams left that have a mathematical chance to have the home field advantage over the Brewers. Well, the point being is that the Brewers are still the best record in baseball. And with eyes on Los Angeles, keeping an eye on that series, of course, as the Dodgers and the Phillies are going toe-to-toe in that one. It is 3-0 L.A., Philly has won the first 2 games of this 3-game set, and we'll try to wrap things up with a sweep. But L.A. is up in this one thanks to a Freddie Freeman solo homer and RBIs from Kike Hernandez and Wisconsin legend Ben Rortvedt. So shout out to them. But still plenty of time for the Dodgers bullpen to mess it up. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. Anyway, Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you in part by Tony Wendorf and Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, trust Tony Wendorf and Associates, one of the top real estate teams in Wisconsin and part of First Weber Real Estate Services. They bring faith, family, and a red carpet experience to every home deal. Let's step up to the plate together. WendorfTeam.firstweber.com. Let's talk a little bit about the bullpen here. What are we buying? What are we selling? First thing we're selling, unfortunately, is just the news today from Pat Murphy. I'm going to have this in my Brewers notebook on WTMJ.com here, up here shortly. about Trevor McGill's recovery from his flexor strain. His most recent throwing session didn't feel as crisp as McGill had wished. He wasn't ready to push it as he recovers. So Murph said that he's hopeful, quote, hopeful, that is the word he used, that he could be activated in these final 10 days before the regular season ends. But in the words of Pat Murphy, he doesn't want to pitch with a flexor strain. Nobody does. We wouldn't want him to. His health is paramount. So he's working through the process of trying to hurry up. And that's not always the best thing for a flexor strain. He's got to have some time to heal, but we just don't have that time. So that's not great news. I think that the Brewers are at this point where do you just shut him down for 10 days and say, don't pick up a baseball, continue your recovery, continue stretching, do whatever you need to do, that will pick up a ball for the first time on September 29th or something. You know, those 5 days the Brewers get off before hopefully hosting Game 1. It's not official yet, but hopefully hosting Game 1 of the National League Division Series. There'll be a team workout right on the 3rd or something like that, but you know, you're up against the clock here. You've got 11 days till the end of the regular season, and then you've got roughly 2 weeks. You got 17 days until that roster needs to be sent in and say, here are the guys. And I sure hope Trevor McGill is going to be on it, but it could be coming down to the wire, quite frankly, as the Brewers figure out what they're going to do in the back end of the bullpen. I think they want to try and give it their best shot, but if you're the type that believes in Abner Uribe, and I don't see why you shouldn't. I like the slider, and it seems like he's really dialed in his temperament this season. He's found a way to recenter himself. There have been some stressful innings. No, don't get me wrong. Same with McGill, too. But I think when it comes down to it, I'm not going to turn down Trevor McGill, the closer spot. I think that is his spot when he comes back, and I'd be very excited to see him. But I think the time and the rest could really help out. Maybe he could be available in a CS situation, which would be about a month from now. We'll have to wait and see, and a lot needs to go right in that realm. The thing that we're buying right now is Eric Fetty against righties. Have y'all noticed this? You know, I tweeted this earlier today, tongue-in-cheek, but was just sort of joking like, hey, the Brewers sat down with Eric Fetty and said, just throw your sweeper, man. Like, cutters and sweepers. And we're going to make sure you face as many righties as possible. And he's like, okay. Righties are now 1 for 18 against him as a Brewer. Now, he's not striking out the world, but he's always been a guy that pitches to contact with good command. And when he throws his defense behind him, I'm not saying he's going to throw leverage, but I thought it was kind of interesting that he threw the 7th inning today with it's still a 4-run game. But obviously the Angels, in a window of that lineup of a second-year player in Christian Moore, really a rookie, Oswald Peraza, unproven second-year player, third-year player, and Denzer Guzman, who's making his big league debut this week. So take it with a grain of salt. But then Rivero got him to fly out, Teodosio fly out, and then Rengifo ground out. Like, all righties doing his job against them. So that's something I'm buying, just monitoring. I'm not saying he's going to pitch leverage, but he may get that window or get a spot where he has to face a righty at some point here down the stretch that the Brewers are going to go, that could be useful. You can never have too much pitching. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Dave, driving back to Reedsburg. Drive safe. You're live on Brewers Extra Innings.
Well, thanks a lot. Great game tonight. I'm up to Milwaukee to watch with my son Calvin, and we were talking before the game about the Cy Young race. Is it okay to ask your opinion on that?
Sure, absolutely. What you got? What do you think?
Okay. Well, little argument. You know, he said it's Paul Skeens, and he's probably right. My point was, Skeens pitches for Pittsburgh. He hasn't thrown a meaningful game since, I don't know, early May when the Pirates were out of it by then. Meanwhile, Peralta and other pitchers, the guy for the Phillies whose name escapes me, you know, they've been pitching for a team that's in the playoff hunt. Those starts matter a lot more. Do you give any weight to that point?
All right. It's the $1 million question, right? Well, what is a Cy Young? Is it a Cy Young on the best team? Is it the best pitcher on the best team? Or is it, the best pitcher performance because he can't control what his offense does for him. Like, for instance, when you sit down and compare, Christopher Sanchez is the name who's escaping you, but Christopher Sanchez has been phenomenal for the Phillies. He's been incredible. He's got a 13-5 record, a 2.66 ERA. That's a great season. Freddie Peralta, leading the National League in wins. He's got 17 wins. He's 17-6, a 2.65 ERA. Wow, a little bit better. Paul Skeens, despite gestures widely at the Pittsburgh Pirates, has a 2.03 ERA. He has more strikeouts than innings pitched. You know, we use the advanced number, like in baseball, for offense, we use weighted runs created plus. For pitching, we can use ERA plus. Anytime you hear a plus for a stat, just instantly think 100. 100 is league average. And anytime you hear a plus, that means anything above 100 is good. And he is literally double league average, Paul Skeens is. 2.10 ERA plus. Again, 100's league average. He's 2.10. So I appreciate it. I think it's a cool story that you maybe have a real race for the second and third, but it's Paul Skeens. I sit here and don't see a scenario unless he gives up like 10 runs in back-to-back starts, which is not going to happen even yet. I think the body of work, it reminds me of Felix Hernandez. I believe that was, 2011 when he won the Cy Young with almost a losing record or a 500 record on a Mariners team that was not great. Yeah, he was 13-12 with a 2.27 ERA in 2010, and was runner-up the year prior with 19 wins. So it's just funny how it all works out, right? He wins the Cy Young when he had a 2.27, but he was runner-up when he had 19 wins and he led the majors. So it's a good question. I understand where it's coming from. The real race to me is who's second, Freddie or Sanchez, and that will be a fun race. Hope that answered your question, but I'm up against the break. Got to take it here. Back with more after this on 620 WTMJ.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
The new fractured boulders we now have in stock are really nice. They're squarer and more rectangular in shape, and they're great for building dry-laid retaining walls. They're much easier to deal with, lock together nicely, and you get less gaps. No wet mortar needed. And we've stocked a multitude of colors. You can use them as an accent item to add character to your dry river or creek beds, too. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our organic mulch is comprised of all trees. Most mulch is made from ground-up pallets, and you don't know what might have been spilled on those pallets. Could be chemicals or who knows what. But not our mulch, we're recycling trees. Many species of hardwoods. Cedar, hemlock, light brown, dark brown, mocha, black, red, gold, and caramel. 7 colors to choose from means a mulch to match any exterior. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. Let's get to our player of the game, shall we? It is brought to you by International Autos Group, where ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Just like the game's MVP, you can drive into the season in style and save up to $10,000 on in-stock BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benz, and more. No tariffs, just huge savings. Visit IAMilwaukee.com. International Autos Group. Over on Twitter at Dom_Cotroneo. Blake Perkins, 59% of the vote. No brainer there. Woodruff was second. Sal was third. I think we're finally past everybody spamming the Summer of Sal player of the game votes, given he didn't win this one with his 11th homer of the season. But Perk also joined Lane Grindle and Josh Maurer on the network post-game show. Let's have a listen to what Blake was feeling in the box today matching a career-high 5 RBIs in a 9-2 victory over the Angels. Here's Blake.
Let's bring Perk onto the show. Perk.
Hey, guys.
Hey, congratulations, man. What a great performance by you tonight. Let's go through the first at-bat and how important that was just in the context of this game to get on the board early.
Yeah, I mean, definitely kind of a weird situation there with the injury and having to wait a little bit for the new pitcher to come in. But, just trying to fight up there and make it happen some way or another. And luckily he gave me a pitch I could hit and found a hole. And, yeah, I kind of started the game off right, I think, for us, which was big.
We talked about it earlier in that at-bat. You had seen that changeup right before it. So how did that change your approach?
I think I just, the one he threw me the pitch before didn't move as much as I thought it was going to. And so it just information I took in, and the next pitch I tried to simplify and have a shorter swing.
All right, Blake, we said we'd go chronologically. Let's then go to the 8th inning. There were 3 walks by Urania. Mm-hmm. Then you're batting with the bases loaded and 2 out, looking for some insurance. You went after the very first pitch that time. Tell us about it.
Well, the bat before against Urania, I felt like, I was a little bit late, and I knew that, he wants to get out of the inning and he wants to be aggressive. So I just tried to match that and be a little bit more on time that last at bat. And again, luckily I found a spot in the field where no one was playing and drove in some runs. So definitely big. Just add some insurance runs. I thought we did a really good job getting people on base. So I'm glad I could come through today and get some of those guys in.
Blake, this position player group is probably as healthy as it's been in quite some time, and it's a good problem to have. Some guys aren't in the lineup every day now as a result of it. How nice is it, though, that you have a group that understands that and everybody just stays ready and waits for their number to be called, whether it's you or Mona or whoever it is. You guys all seem to be ready when it's your night.
Yeah, I think that's just the culture here in the clubhouse. Just to we're all trying to go to the same, achieve the same goal together, and especially this time of the year, like playing time and your feelings about things, like kind of all out the window. We're here to win ball games and win a World Series. So staying ready, trying to be as engaged as possible for when we're called upon. And as you said, you see it, the guys that come off the bench or people who don't play every day, like they're slotting in and they're making stuff happen. So it's just kind of the culture here in the clubhouse.
Well, Blake, great stuff here tonight. We appreciate you taking some time to talk with us. Congratulations on a great performance, and that magic number keeps getting a little closer. I know you guys are just worried about winning the next game, which is tomorrow night. We'll see you at the ballpark tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Go Brewers.
Blake's awesome, man. He's just a breath of fresh air. Just really fun to talk to Blake Perkins. We've talked to him in the past here on WTMJ. Maybe we'll have to get him on here before the end of the season. Brewers win today, 9-2. Last couple of texts here as well. We'll hear from Pat Murphy coming up next. Do we know the starting pitchers for the Cardinal series yet? No, we don't know yet who's going to start in Quintana spot. Will we see Robert Gasser still this year? It's funny you mentioned that. He is also in my WTMJ notebook. Pat Murphy mentioned him by name. We will see him, quote, soon, perhaps this weekend. Now, he's not stretched out like a starter anymore, but he can still give you multiple innings. I'm anticipating a bullpen game of some kind to get the Brewers back on track. Now, Chad Patrick is still stretched out because even though he threw yesterday, it was his throw day. I can virtually guarantee that you're going to see Chad Patrick. So I would imagine it'll be Miz coming up on Friday, maybe Chad Patrick on Saturday, and then maybe that bullpen game, Gasser Sunday, bring up somebody else sort of thing. And then you can have Freddie Peralta Monday against the Padres, and then stack it up from there, because if you go Woodruff on Tuesday, boom, that gives him an extra day of rest of the normal rest, or do you want to wait to him Wednesday? All these things to be figured out by people who are way smarter than you and I. Mike from Merrill, what do you think is going to happen with Rhys Hoskins going into the playoffs? Is he going to be on the roster? I'm biased because I really like him. Just don't think he's getting a fair shake. Is he in the doghouse? I don't think he's in the doghouse, and here's why. I actually had a brief conversation with Rhys today that the whole thing that's happened here is he is in essentially stay ready camp, and it's understood by both parties that Andrew Vaughn has been on fire. And obviously we can use the term Wally Pipp. We can, if you don't know the name, look up Wally Pipp and you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. Now I get it, Lou Gehrig. But the whole point is that stay ready. You don't know what these final 10 days could have. And they want to give Jake Bauer some runway here to see if he can be swinging as hot as he is heading into October, because I just don't foresee the Brewers carrying 3 first basemen on a playoff roster. It's between 3 first basemen and Andrew Monasterio for versatility. So I just don't see that happening. So at the end of the day, you stay ready. It stinks the way it happened, but no one expected Andrew Vaughn to be doing this at this point. But we'll wait and see. Nothing is for certain. He is still here. He's still participating with the team. He's still taking it in stride. It's an adjustment for him, obviously, to be coming off the bench. But until something happens, we'll see if Reese gets back in there. We'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy. That's coming up next here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'd like you to listen to a little question and answer session with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, why James?
I do feel like that we are partnered, again, as opposed to being sold to.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If I need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
That works for you and the business, right, Preston?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about it.
Plus, there's IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems.
I've got information that I can then go to my superiors with and say, hey, here's how we can save a little bit of money.
And
then I kind of look like the hero, too.
Want to be the hero in your office? Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. Fastball at 93 at the top of the zone. Strikeout number 9 for Brandon Woodruff here tonight. A 1-2-3 fifth inning.
Woodruff bullying the Angels. 9 Ks, no walks, just 1 run allowed in 5 strong innings. He was great. It's our Surfside play of the game. Brought to you by Surfside, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka. Surfside lemonade and vodka, paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. The manager is in a good mood. In fact, you may hear some chuckles and some taps in the background of this because young Kyler Woodruff was hanging out on the stage with the Murphys, as he usually does. So the kids, the daycare was taking over the press conference. We edited out some of the asides that Murph takes. You know, we're all a little scatterbrained at the end of a game. And, well, Murph was all over the place, but plenty of love for Brandon Woodruff with his young daughter right next to Pat Murphy. So that was kind of a cute moment here tonight. Here is Pat Murphy's postgame press conference.
Tonight with all the cutters, what did you think of kind of the mix and what he had tonight?
I mean, guys, I hope you can appreciate what this guy has done. This guy has spent basically 2 years recovering and then jumped right into the fray after a couple setbacks of different type of injuries. And he's just been absolutely successful. You know what I mean? Not blowing it out, not with his best stuff. He's pitching. And it reminded me a little bit, again, I'm I can get carried away when I get excited, but it reminded me of Kershaw. You know what I mean? Like, he just pitching, he just keeps going. Like, how's he do it? Woody's got a lot more in the tank, I'm sure, but we just need to appreciate what this guy does. I mean, we just need to appreciate what this guy does. We have a star in Freddie, and this guy comes to the post and Freddie's gotten better every single year. And then you got Woody coming back from Big Woo. Do you call your dad Big Woo?
No.
What do you call
Dad?
him? You call him Dad? What does he call you? Little Woo?
Yes.
Okay. But, I mean, what this guy has done, man, it's special. I know you don't see the big flashes on the board at 96, 97, but that can be there. But he's pitching. And to incorporate the cutter the way he did and use the changeup. And still, when the heater's 91, 92, it's still really, really good, you know? So.
Speaking of guys who've had kind of trying seasons with injury, Blake Perkins with the shin fracture earlier in the year and kind of slow getting rolling. How important was a game like this tonight for him mentally?
Yeah, I mean, he's had some tough luck swinging the bat, and he's had the injuries and a lot on his plate. There's nobody in that locker room that is loved and beloved the way Blake Perkins is. I mean, he's just a special human, and everybody pulls for him. So to have him have success, you know, all his hard contacts have been caught lately. He had 2 balls, maybe not hit as hard, but produced driving 5 runs tonight. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Back to Woody, we spent a lot of time in the build-up to him coming back, talking about the stuff, the velo and all that. Have you gotten to a point where you kind of just like whatever he's got that night, you kind of trust him to?
Yeah, I trust him. I trust him emphatically. What this guy has been through on the mound and the way he operates, he knows what he's doing. And it's underrated for this team this year, what he's done. What is our record since Woody started with us? That's something else, because what he's done for the pitching staff. And I'll tell you, the pitching coaches have done a great job with him. So kudos to them and everybody that's been involved with Woody's development on the way back, the medical staff, you know.
Murph, was there any question about what he'd have tonight after getting that extra rest and kind of how
he knew exactly what he's doing? You know what I mean? He welcomed the rest, and you know, if everyone's concerned about the 91 or whatever, he's been doing it that way. And then when you saw when he wanted to go get 94, and he could have got more if he wanted to, but I think he's really smart about how he does things. He locates, he pitches. It's pretty special.
How much does having that new cutter, the pitchability, the sequencing, all that stuff, how much does that contribute to
I think he's better. You look at his old outings. He didn't throw 5 innings, 75 pitches. You know what I mean? You look at, you know, there's just so much to it.
How about the at-bats just overall the last couple nights from your offense? What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we swung it great. I think we left the zone a bunch. You know, striking out 7, 8 times. The thing we've been able to do is take our walks. And when you take your walks, you put everything in motion, you know? And we've done multiple walks in an inning, and that helps, and that's how you score runs.
Lies when they had to make that change. I don't know what your feeling is.
I was worried the kid was really hurt, man. That kid's got a great arm and was shoving, and I just hurt for the kid, you know, like I just glad it's in a spot where he's going to be okay, I think. And yeah, I just hurt for him. That's all I thought about it. The kid that came in threw great, but always it's tough to get started there when, you know, Perk came up with a big hit, and then Frelick came up with, you know, game-changing hit. So.
Bad for Sal, culminating in the home run after fighting a few off. Is that kind of an example of a guy knowing which pitches he needs to battle against, which ones he can go get?
I mean, it's Sal's MO. That's who he is as a hitter, you know, like he's a battler. He's a tough out, as they say, you know. Yeah, you can find things he doesn't handle, but there are things that no hitter handles, you know. So he fights off pitches. He goes deep in counts. I don't know what his pitch per at bat is, but I bet he's up there.
Let's go ahead and find that out here, shall we? Thanks to our friends at Baseball Reference. Let me give a couple more clicks here. Pitches, scroll, load. Also, getting StatHead is super worth it just for the ad-free browsing. Anyway, pitches per plate appearance. The leaders in baseball are Marcell Ozuna, Mike Trout, Matt Olson, Bryson Stott, Nathaniel Lowe. Sal Frelick is 3.88. He is above league average, and he's in the top 75. So, all right, a little more than league average. There's a lot of first pitch swings in there, too, which certainly sways it in against his favor. Let's take a window ahead. There's only 4 more home games, at least in the regular season. We'll give you those magic numbers, what we're looking out for, what the Brewers need to do to clinch as soon as possible. And when could they clinch? Back after this on 620 WTMJ.
Elevate your escape at Audi North Shore and Audi Milwaukee, where you can save up to $30,000 on a new Audi or get low 0.99% financing for 72 months. At Audi North Shore in Brown Deer and Audi Milwaukee, members of the International Autos Group, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. On select in-stock new units. Savings include customer credit and dealer credit. Financing with approved credit. $1,431 per month for $1,000 financed. No down payment required.
You'll get a new heat pump system, a new furnace, and a full home duct cleaning all together as a package at about half price. Half price! That's how it all shakes out. Not a gimmick. And both the furnace and the heat pump system are high-quality units. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump system from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace and a free duct cleaning. All totaled, the cost would be about $20,000. When you add in the new tax incentives that you'll get back at the end of the year, you're going to end up paying about half. That's about $10,000 for a high-quality furnace, heat pump system, and a full home duct cleaning. It's limited time. And last time we did this, the units went pretty fast. So if your home needs a new furnace upgrade and a heat pump system that can act as a brand new AC system as well as a furnace backup, take advantage while you can and cut your energy bills substantially. Call Quality and get them while they're hot.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ. What's coming up for the crew? This is your window to what's ahead. Brought to you by Window Nation.
Hey Milwaukee, Dom Cotroneo here for Window Nation. Right now you can buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus no payments for 2 years. And you can get free tickets to a Brewers game when you replace all the windows in your home. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now. Brewers magic number 6. It's a perfect time to take advantage of Window Nation's playoff special. So, Cubs won earlier today. They are officially in the playoffs and virtually locked to be the 1 seed in the wild card standings. They swept the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Mets lost today to the San Diego Padres, so that series is level at a game apiece. Finale coming tomorrow night. 7-4 San Diego won today. So really no movement in the wild card. The crazy game that we had to keep an eye on was Arizona and San Francisco earlier today. So Arizona remains a game and a half back of the New York Mets for that last wild card spot. Now Cincinnati's 2 games back, so is San Francisco. There are a lot of tiebreaker scenarios that you can get lost in the sauce in with San Francisco and Cincinnati. But let's just start with the simple ones. If it's Cincinnati and New York tied for that last spot, Cincinnati gets in. They have the tiebreaker on them. But if it's New York and Arizona for that last spot, New York gets in because they have it over Arizona. So it gets a little more complicated if San Francisco gets involved, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So if the playoffs started tomorrow, the Brewers, of course, would get that bye. They would be the 1 seed. They would be hosting a best of 5. First 2 games here at home, 2 games on the road, 1 game here at home for Game 5. Against the winner of, as of now, the Padres and the Cubs 3-game series at Wrigley Field. And by the way, Dodgers still leading the Phillies 3-0 top of the 7th inning at Chavez Ravine. Now that's significant because with the Brewers winning today, if the Phils were to lose, that would move the Brewers back up to 3 games up on the Phillies. It's really 2.5, but it's essentially 3 because the Brewers hold the tiebreaker on Philadelphia. So that's a big reminder as we move closer and closer. But it is very clear at this point, unless the Dodgers really win out, that the NL East and NL Central are going to have the byes. And Philly has already clinched the NL East. The Brewers are still waiting. Their magic number, again, is 6. Tomorrow, same time, same place, 6:40. Yep, it's a Thursday getaway, but night game. School's back in session. Bring the kids on down. There's only 4 games left. So tomorrow it'll be Quinn Priester taking them out for the Brewers. 13-2, 3.25 ERA. You know the drill. 18 straight games that he's appeared in. The Brewers have won. Yusei Kikuchi. He's got the 5th most walks in baseball, as he's 6-11, a 4.08 ERA. Not a very busy slate tomorrow, but the other series we'll be keeping an eye on is Cubs going to the Reds. It's the Reds' final stand for like the 5th time we've said about a final stand for the Reds, but they're still technically alive, and they need every win they can get. The soonest the Brewers could clinch is if they win the next 3 games while the Cubs lose the next 3 games. That would be Saturday night in St. Louis. Now, even in these final 10 games, if the Brewers go 6-4, they win the division. Pretty simple to understand that the magic number is 6. Even if the Cubs win out, even if the Cubs win out, the Brewers can go 6-4 and win the division. So, 100 wins, that's still on your radar. Got to sweep tomorrow, and then win each of the final 3 series of the year. St. Louis, San Diego, and Cincinnati. Could be fun, but the team record of 96 wins is certainly in the crosshairs. That is going to do it for our program here tonight. Our producer has been Matt Yazel. Our thanks to him. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Back again tomorrow night for Brewers Extra Innings. Hopefully it's talking about a sweep. Until then, keep on swinging.
It's been almost 70 years, and Marty's Pizza is still going strong in Delafield.
Hey, you keep the pizza tasty, and our loyal fans